Hi everybody, and welcome to Hex coverage. So we're going to look at Hex performance, all the fundamentals. It's going to be pretty epic. If you like data insights, let's go. Right, this is Hex.com. Obviously, Hex is a staking project, which is the first of its kind, certificate deposit with a share rate, and of course, it can earn somewhere between like 36 and 40% APY. So pretty nice there as well. And obviously, the founder is the famous Mr. Richard Hart. So let's go. All right, so let's have a look at nomics.com. This is Hex is listed here as a number 3. So just after Ethereum and Bitcoin, Hex is got the price of 40 cents at the moment. That looks like a pretty good entry level to me as well. So obviously Pulse Chain is coming up, and that's going to be pretty epic. It's down 5.68%, so it looks like a bit of a buying opportunity territory there. Once again, do your own investment due diligence, but that looks pretty good to me. All right, so the market cap at the moment, 230 billion, pretty nice. And what's the gap? Maybe 70, 185 billion gap between Ethereum and Hex. So pretty valuable, and lots of fundamentals coming up for sure. Volume at 16.6 million at the moment, so nice. You can see the transparency volume at 78%, which is outstanding, and of course circulating a volume at 572 billion Hex in the market. So pretty nice above that. Let's quickly jump over to the Hex app Hex.win. Now this is the charts here. We can quickly see that the staking percentage is at 9.899, which is pretty high at the moment. So that shows you demand, people wanting to stake there. Pretty exciting. And let's go quickly to Uniswap. See the pools. We're at the main pool is the version 2 on Uniswap. It's USD. So 34 million Hex in there. And then of course a version 3. So actually version 3 is actually grown quite a bit there. So it's actually up to 39 million on version 3. So that's interesting. That is, it's a bit of a flip there. So version 3 is now 39 million Hex, and that's also USDC. So you can see if you combine those two, you're at about 87% USDC. So very much a stable coin now, Hex, and obviously the underlying performance is based on certificate deposit of Hex and with the 40% return, and also Pulse Chain coming up. So pretty exciting there. All right, so you've got Hex in ETH. You got 3 million Hex there in version 3 and version 2 on Uniswap. You got 7 million Hex there. So they're really strengthened on the USDC side, and it's almost heading towards 90%. So pretty impressive there. APY 36.95% at the moment. Obviously, due to all the higher staking there at 9.89%. If it gets to something like 10%, that's around about where it is at the moment. So pretty cool. Staked 25 billion at the moment, total staked, and stake plus pool is just a little bit higher. So there we are. All right, so let's jump over to the Hex share T-share price. Now, obviously, Hex has got the global share rate that reflects compound interest, and basically the T-share price to get a T-share is getting more expensive. So T-share just represents trillions of shares, and that's the way people talk about the return. So you'll get so much Hex per day. So that APY converted to Hex per day, and that will include the interest, but it also can include penalties if people are early unstaking their Hex from their stakes, their commitments that they've made. They get penalized for that, and those penalties go back to stakers. So stakers always win in the long run with the penalties when people break their promise. So here the share rate at the moment, $7,635, which is 12,726x than the low. Now the low was 60 cents, so you can imagine 60 cents is $7,635 a T-share. It's much T-shares are becoming much more expensive and rarer as the share rate goes up. We're going to check all that out. So you can actually see here the orange line, the yellow line, sorry, is the T-share, and you can see it's just climbing. You can see that the low was back here in January 2020. So this continues to rise. Remember, Hex launched on the 2nd of December 2019. Had its low price was about January the 5th, 2020, and since then it has just really just rocketed up here. And of course, the T-share price at the moment is looking pretty good, up in the high 7,000, 8,000 range. So pretty nice on that. On the bottom here is the actual hex, of course, the hex rate and hex price. So you can see that it's actually been going pretty well over here at the moment, and it looks like it's getting ready to go for that next move. So pretty cool on the hex price. Now the share rate, of course, means this is how much hex that you need to get one T share for a 2-day stake, and you got 1.8949. So that's 18,949 hex. So it's almost at 19,000 hex per T share to do a 2-day stake, and you can see that it's been climbing. So it keeps going up here, of course, last year into 2020. And then, of course, the Hex had a big payday where there was you'd get a big bonus amount of Hex. That's a one-off big payday. And, of course, that was the 19th of November. And then it jumps. So the T-share rate was much easier. You could get a T-share for 2-day stake at about 11,160. And that jumped the next day after the big payday payout to people of about to 1,600. So moved up 16,000, sorry, and 75. So it moved up about 5,000 hex in one day because of that big payday. Now, if you had been staked just the day before and getting into that, you would have got about 30%. 30% return straight off the bat. If you'd been staking longer, more like 100% or more. So pretty neat. You can see the hex price just keeps going up. There's a couple of little step changes there. Of course, you can see that's not a completely smooth curve. And at the moment, it's just continuing to rocket up. So this what means is that it takes a lot more hex to buy a T-share. And not only that, but it takes a lot more hex to buy a T-share, but the price of hex is also going up. So the share rate, this share rate plus the price of hex means that the T-share cost is going up, and that's that yellow line. So the pink line plus the white price line equals the yellow line, and that's why that keeps going up. So two factors driving up that yellow line. So here's the daily payout, of course. If you get a certain amount of T-shares, maybe you get 10 T-shares, maybe you get 100 T-shares. Obviously, they're getting more expensive, and not everybody around has 7,635 US dollars to buy to get a T-share. And of course, if you stake longer, you can get more T-shares, but that's just for the minimum. And you can sort of see that the payout per T-share is pretty steady at 5.75. Obviously, the more people stake, the lower that will go. The less people stake, the higher the T-share rate will go. And of course, these spikes that we see with these little bubbles at the top here, where you get 10 hex per day or 8 hex per day, these are from major unstakers from very large wallets. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 4 or 5 really large early unstakes that have provided massive penalties to the rest of staking class, and they love that because it's basically double the return on this day than you normally would get. So pretty nice there. And then of course the stake counts is in here, so you can see that that's just continuing to climb as well. So pretty nice there. And that's just continuing to go up to the amount of stakes that are in the market. So pretty nice, 328,000 stakes there, nice. So that's going up really well too. All right, let's jump over to Daily Hex Stats. This is a fantastic website, and of course, it has every day since Hex has been alive. It's got all the entries, so 278 days. Of course, the last day that finished is yesterday. We're almost about an hour and 20 minutes away from tomorrow, from today's results finalizing. So it's pretty cool. So day 678, you can see that it's got some pretty cool stuff. The price change just down slightly at the moment because Hex is kind of consolidating, and their bull flags are getting ready, winding up for that next push really. Multiplier of the price 7456, 74 to 52, sorry, of the price. So the price obviously yesterday was closed at 42 cents, a little bit lower now, so it's actually quite a good buying range. So that's up 2,452x. So that's amazing returns. Payout per T-share 5.738 yesterday. T-share, as I said, 7,962 close of yesterday. So this is a snapshot every 24 hours. Let's just take that into account. T-share rate 18,926. So it's almost at 19,000 hex per T-share, as I said in the previous page. T-share rate 7.9. Can you believe it? That's the changes in the T-share rates. You can see it's just going up most days. A couple of days it's zero, it doesn't go up. Most days it's going up, so it's going up and to the right, and so you won't be able to get that anymore. So just take that into account. Average stake years 5.75, so people staked for an average of 5.75 years, which is pretty cool. It's tending to go upwards, so that's nice. That shows demand. APY 36.82%, pretty cool. Liquidity in the pool, only 90 million hex up for sale. Obviously, the more that's bought, the less hex will be around. That's pretty amazing. And the market cap looking pretty good. T-shares, 11 million T-shares. So if you're trying to get T-shares, it's going to cost you around almost 19,000 hex per T-share. So you can see that it's the higher the price of T-shares get up there, the slower, the less T-shares will be. Of course, T-shares expire as well as stakes mature. So it's going to be interesting to see that number, how that profiles over time. With the new people coming into the ecosystem and old stakes expiring that add more favorable hex prices, so share prices. So that's going to be interesting to see that play out. Total supply 635 billion hex minted of each day. Shows you how much hex is getting minted back to stakers each day. Circulated supply 572. We know that most of that's in what they call the origin wallet, and so there's actually very little liquid hex around. Change in circulating supply 30 million there. Stake supply is 62 million. So it's going pretty good. Down 18 million yesterday, so it was a pretty big move down. Stake supply 171.5 million. Percentage stake is a pretty important number, 9.9. This affects the APY on your interest yield. 9.9%, that's pretty high, and I don't see it getting too much higher than that. But as demand grows, that could increase for a while. Payout, of course, 63 million hex was paid out yesterday. You see it's pretty consistent. But here's the big one that makes the big difference: penalties. You can see the penalties along here. So those all go to stakers. If we go back to our previous page, of course, we can see the penalties are here. When we get a big penalty, we get that there. So that's corresponding to these penalty column here. Total holders 366,500. That's really good. So heading towards 500,000 really is the key there. Current stakers 66,505. You can see the changes here, the most important numbers. They're pretty good too, and I imagine they're going to increase when Pulse Chain launches and the fork for Pulse Chain happens. So pretty cool. Total stakers 81,870. Total change in stakers 260. You can see the numbers pretty consistent the last 10 days that we're looking at, and a change in current holders looking pretty good too. So all the growth numbers are consistently going, and I imagine they're only going to get better with time. Let's quick look at some of the key charts here on Hex Vision, and let's have a look here. You've got a lot of the same numbers here with the custom numbers, but with the investors. So circulating Hex, of course, you've got these new stakes happening here. Very cool. And some really cool data here. You've also got the all-time stakes here. There's the whole profile over time for the main hex staking. You can see that we've only got a couple of months left of high stakes maturing, and then it really starts falling off, which indicates more demand. The more the hex is going to get even more scarce, as these stakes will probably get pushed out further into the future. So interesting to see that. That's the end. Those have been going for the last sort of 10 months, and there's only a couple of months left, and then we're down to very low maturing stakes. So very exciting times for Hex with that squeeze. Pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, hit the bell. You're going to get more from this channel all around Hex and even Pulse Chain. So hope you enjoyed that one. Take care now, and I will see you again soon.